Many of you already know some of the story of my life. Born in the inner city of an unchurched family, and how fortunate I feel that it was a two-parent family. So many young people today don't have that opportunity. But mine was a two-parent family with pride and a loving concern for each other in the family. And it was the Army that reached out to the Shoults kids with a program of music, love, and the gospel. And later, while still a teenager, we in the Shoults family ministered to former school friends while visiting penal institutions as a part of the Army's brass band. At 16 years of age, following high school graduation, I set out to be an electrical engineer. I worked for the power company in St. Louis, and they were paying for my college work at Washington University. However, during these years, God called me to pastorship, and it was during these years that I met Pauline Cox. Can you just imagine the concern her parents must have had when she started dating someone with my background? They never said that to me, but I never could believe it. I know if it had been my daughter, someone like me came along. Well, I announced my plans to go to training, and many of the Corps people couldn't believe it. The divisional commander, because there were 10 of us going in from the Midland Division that year, decided that they would do a little experiment. They would send us all to have psychological examinations to see if this information would prove to be helpful to the Army. So I went down to the YMCA where they made an appointment for me and took a whole battery of tests on a Saturday. And then they told me to come back the next Saturday and they would give me an evaluation. And when I got back there the next Saturday, the tester advised me not to go to training. He said I wasn't suited to be an officer. Well, shortly after that, the divisional secretary, my wife's, I wasn't married then, of course, but her father decided to tell the tester, "You give the test, we'll do the evaluation." So I went off to training. Following my commissioning as an officer, Polly applied for training. You see, she's quite a bit younger than me. I had to wait for her to grow up, and she then came to school a year later. And the same education officer that we both had while we were in the training school for both of our sessions took her aside and advised her not to continue with her relationship with me. She said, "Your potential is going to be wasted if you marry this young man." You see, all the analysis and the projections of mankind were based on good understanding and intelligence, but it did not take into consideration God's wonderful grace. God had a plan for us, and we allow His plan to unfold in our lives, and His grace has made the impossible a reality. He has given us the opportunity and blessing that is beyond measure. So, the testimony of our lives is that as we submit ourselves to God, allowing Him complete control, we can stand back and be amazed at what He is able to do through the weakness of our lives because of the mighty power working in us. It is our desire through this celebration and service tonight that someone here might be convinced of the joy that can be ours as we submit completely to Him. And I close with these words, for Paul says it another way when he writes to the church at Ephesus. Now to Him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us, to Him be glory in the church and in Christ Jesus throughout all generations, forever and ever. I appreciate all that's been said about us. We've listened to it all. But as I was listening, I remember the words of Commissioner Miller, who told me a few years ago, when nice things like this are being said, you can listen but don't inhale. Our life has been a wonderful journey. And I'm so glad that if there are any young people here this evening, or any that have really committed themselves fully and completely to God's control and to His care, the only way to have true joy and happiness and real peace and satisfaction is in submission to God's will for your lives. God bless you.